It's a Conor McGregor fight week, everybody! Let's go! The king is back right where he belongs, at the top, fighting the number 2 contender in the world, Dustin the Diamond Poirier. Ladies and gentlemen, do you understand just what we're living in right now? What we're living in right now is something that I think a lot of people do not understand the magnitude of. People don't understand the magnitude of what a Conor McGregor fight means. This is like, I don't even know how to put it. It's like having it's basically the Super Bowl of combat sports, but it doesn't happen every year. Sure, it happened last year, a little bit over a year ago, but it doesn't recur like that. We are so blessed and lucky to be living in the same era, to be able to witness this man's greatness. The fact of the matter is that Conor McGregor has changed mixed martial arts and combat sports in every single aspect in which an aspect of mixed martial arts can be changed. Conor has done every single thing for not only combat sports, not only the UFC, he's done it for the world. He is a global superstar. He is... I guess, back in the day when Chuck Liddell was fighting, there are people who thought, there's nobody who can be bigger than Conor McGregor. Or excuse me, there's nobody who can be bigger than Chuck Liddell. And as soon as Ronda Rousey came, it's like, okay, there's nobody who can be bigger than Ronda Rousey. Then this dude from Dublin, Ireland comes by and just changes the landscape of the world. The fact of the matter is that people do not understand, people aren't hip to the greatness. And what we're going to witness this weekend is something that if you're lucky enough to be able to watch this fight, you need this to soak that moment in. Now I know there's a lot of people who are going to watch the fight. This fight, Conor McGregor, Dustin Poirier, two of the biggest draws in the UFC right now. This fight is going to do 1 million plus buys. If I had to take a guess, I say 1.4 million buys. 1.4 million buys, which would break the record. Or excuse me, it wouldn't break the record, but it would break the amount of buys that Cowboy and Conor did. This fight's 10 times bigger, man. I've been watching I've been watching everything. I have not watched the countdown yet. I just need to be in a room by myself to be able to watch that and just be able to soak in what he's saying. But what I'm trying to get at is the fact of the matter is that if you are watching this fight, you need to soak that moment in, because you will not be able to see anything like this. There's 2,000 fans in there, and I guarantee you it feels like there's going to be a full crowd in there. That's just how Conor McGregor is. He brings a different element to every single thing that he goes to, whether it's fighting, whether it's his whiskey business, whether he's promoting himself in that one video game he's playing. Conor McGregor is the UFC. Now I know what happened last week. First off, I want to apologize before I even get in that. I took a little break, a little bit of a month break or so from doing the show, and I just needed to chill out a little bit. I was kind of running out of content. There wasn't much things happening in the UFC, and I didn't really know what to talk about. And then I should have did one last week with the Max fight. I didn't. Max Holloway is the best 145 on the planet. If you don't think so, don't talk to me. That's all I got to say to that. But that's the only takeaway you need from that. Max Holloway is the greatest 145 on the planet. If you think Volkanovski is, then good for you. You don't know anything about fighting. Congratulations. Anyway, I don't even remember what I was talking about, dude. Jeez, this is just gets me going so much. Jeez. But what I think I was saying is that we will not be able to see another piece of greatness like this in any sport for a long time. He's a global superstar. The Irish are coming out. People from Vegas are coming out. People from America are going to Abu Dhabi. This is a life-changing event. And I say that every time Conor fights because it is. Because it is. Excuse me. Except for the Joaquin Buckley knockout of last year, the best and most viral moment of the UFC was Conor's knockout. And it was a 40-second head kick knockout. It's nothing special. Now you see head kick knockouts every 2 cards or so, or whatever. I don't know. I don't know the numbers behind that. but Conor just brings a different element to the fight game. And I've been watching all the things. I've been watching the embeddeds. Haven't not watched the countdown. I watched the pre-fight press conference, the ceremonial weigh-ins, which it feels so good to have those back. I mean, I know it's just because it's Conor McGregor, but whatever. I'm watching interviews and type of interviews and type of interviews. And man, it pains me to say this because I am such a big Dustin Poirier fan. I've got my Dustin Poirier jacket upstairs. Paid $120 for a Dustin Poirier jacket. Back almost a year ago, about 350 days ago, I actually met Dustin Poirier. He was such a good guy. It was when he was trying to get a fight with Nate Diaz. I shook his hand. I was like, Dustin, I hope you get that fight, man. You're real deserving of this. You're a beast, and you're gonna win that fight. He said, thanks, man. I hope I get the fight too. Dustin's one of my favorite. It goes like this. My all-time favorite, my top two, Conor McGregor, Dustin Poirier. It's as simple as that. And for Conor and Dustin to fight in their primes against each other right now, it hurts me, but at the same time, I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. You have Conor McGregor, who is a global superstar, and you have Dustin Poirier, who's a UFC superstar. He's not really a global superstar. And I think that the fact that they're running this fight back, and it's such a different outlook than last time. Last time, they hated each other. Conor was going at him. They're going at him. Dustin said in an interview this past week that, on that Friday at the weigh-ins, he's never wanted to fight somebody at the weigh-ins except for Conor McGregor, which that's just what Conor wants. But what I was getting at is, based off what I've been watching, Dustin does not seem to be in the right headspace. He does not, he doesn't look confident. He looks like he's there. It looks like he's kind of, how can I even analyze it? It looks like Conor McGregor's his high school crush, and he's trying to impress him. So he's saying, yeah, I love that. Appreciate it, man. I appreciate you. For being a man to man, I appreciate it. Which, there's nothing wrong with that. Me personally, I'm a fan of Conor when he's doing all his weird things, his crazy antics, trying to sell fights. I'm a fan of Conor when he's just trying to, go out there and be respectful. But I think that that's part of the mental warfare, especially it being Dustin Poirier and how Dustin Poirier felt in their last fight. Back in 2014 in their last fight, Conor was so in Dustin Poirier's head that, that on that Friday at the weigh-ins, Dustin wanted to fight him. And now, Conor he's still Conor McGregor. There's no different person than it is. He's still, I guarantee it, when Conor McGregor wins this fight tomorrow night, he's going to call out Khabib, and all those antics that he's been doing, like the cowboy fight, this fight, going to be gone. He's calling out Khabib. He's going ruthless. He's going featherweight 2014 Conor McGregor, calling people out, shooting his shot. Because Khabib is if Khabib is going to come back, there's no other fight than Conor McGregor. There's no other fight. No other fight. The George St. Pierre fight's not going to happen. Who wants to see GSP fight the greatest of all time at a division he's never fought at, 15 pounds lower than what he usually is? That doesn't even sound interesting. That just sounds like an absolute beating by Khabib. And if you want to see a Tony Ferguson fight, why? Why? He's not at the top anymore. He lost to Gaethje, he lost to Oliveira, which, those are two of the best dudes in the world. But he's not anywhere near who he was. Not even close. So that fight doesn't make sense. And do you want to see him have a rematch with Dustin Poirier? No. Do you want to see him rematch with Gaethje? Not really. Do I want to see him fight Dan Hooker? No, not really. Charles Oliveira? No. He beats all those dudes easily. Easily. The only fight that, besides Conor, that, in my opinion, you can make an argument for it being interesting or whatnot, is Michael Chandler. And that's just because everybody's talked about Khabib versus Chandler for so long, if they crossed over. Now there's no need to cross over. They're both in the same company. But Conor McGregor versus Khabib is the fight to make if Conor wins this fight. When Conor wins this fight. And if Khabib doesn't want to come back, then run it up Charles Oliveira versus Conor McGregor for the belt. Or if Michael Chandler wins, Michael Chandler versus Conor McGregor. Besides that, there's a lightweight is so stacked, but there's no clear-cut number one contender. except for the winner of today, or excuse me, except for the winner of tomorrow's fight between Conor McGregor and Dustin Poirier. The winner of that fight, in my opinion, is the number one contender. And I guess the number 2 contender is Charles Oliveira. And I guess the number 3 contenders got to be Gaethje or the winner of Hooker Chandler. Simple as that. Simple as that. But yeah, as I was alluding to, Dustin, it's weird, you know. He's being so nice to Conor. Conor's being so nice to him, and I feel like it's definitely just really throwing off what you know, Conor's used to doing. You know, I feel like he's so thrown off by it because that's what he expected when he signed the bout. He's like, all right, he's gonna call me out, blah blah blah. It's gonna be banter again. I'm gonna want to knock this dude out. Not even close. You know, I think Al Quinta, a former guest on the show. Shout out to Al, appreciate it. A former guest Al Quinta said it best. You know, Dustin Poirier lost his fight when he signed the contract because of how nice he's being to Conor. You know, it's like it's like I was alluding to. It's like Conor's his high school crush. He's trying to impress him. He's like, oh yeah, I appreciate the donation. You're gonna help a lot of people, which that's fine. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that he's a lesser person of that. I'm not saying Conor's a bigger person of that. That's good. No, the fact that they're helping each other out is good. But the fact that, you know, that Dustin's so excited for this, and, you know, he's just kind of acting like he's brand new to the game. Conor's acting like a seasoned vet. You know, when Conor goes out there and he says his predictions, he says them with confidence. Dustin goes out there, he's like, yeah, we'll see what happens. I'll win this fight. It sounds like he's not really into the fight. Sounds like he's kind of just there for the payday. Which, I mean, yeah, I don't really know how much he's going to go home with, but after pay-per-view and after his contract, Dustin Poirier should be making $5 million for this fight. How much is he going to make? I don't know, probably like $20 and like a milkshake from McDonald's. But I mean, that's besides the fact. I think what Conor's doing, both in the Cowboy fight and in this fight, is he's completely changing what he's doing because that's part of the mental warfare he's going at right now. Conor's changing his mental warfare without doing any warfare. He's killing him with kindness. That's literally all it is. That's all Conor's doing. He killed Cowboy with kindness. He's killing Poirier with kindness. Conor is going to go out there, and he's going to be confident as ever. He's going to flow so well. You know, shout out to Owen Roddy, best boxing coach in the world. Conor's going to go out there and flow so well, and Dustin's going to kind of sit back and be timid. And that's just what I think. And it pains me to say that because I love Dustin Poirier. Dustin Poirier is one of my heroes of the fight game. I love this man. I love Conor McGregor. But it's just, if there's something happening, if I can see something, it's just, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think that just based off what they've been doing this week, I feel like Dustin Poirier is just there. I feel like he's not mentally in it. Conor is mentally, physically, emotionally built in this fight. Dustin went to Fight Island. He's like, shoot, I gotta fight Conor McGregor again. Oh no. And that's how he's been thinking all week. Because I guarantee Dustin's not sleeping well at night. No, he's thinking Conor's in his head. Conor's in his head. Conor does it best. Conor's so good at getting people's heads that he's not even in his head. Excuse me. Conor's so good at getting people's heads that he's not even trying to get Dustin Poirier's head. And he's in his head. It's a phenomenal matchup. It was bound to happen. This is probably the best rematch. My favorite rematch ever. This is like if it was just Dustin Poirier fighting somebody else, I'd be just as excited. If it was just Conor McGregor fighting somebody else, I'd be just as excited. But the fact that it's those two going at it makes it even better. There's no fight like this. There's no company like the UFC. There's no fight like this. Now, if we're getting to a prediction standpoint, you know, Mystic Matt called a 60-second KO. Now, you're all gonna call me crazy, but I think that can happen. I think it can happen. Conor lands one clean shot on Poirier. Dustin Poirier has a chin and a half. A chin and a half. Don't get me wrong. But Nate Diaz has a chin and a half. And you know who went down against Conor? Nate Diaz. You know who has a chin and a half? Eddie Alvarez. You know who got absolutely embarrassed by Conor McGregor? Eddie Alvarez. Who didn't lose for what? 7 years, something like that, was regarded as the greatest featherweight of all time, the pound for pound number one dude, got starched in one punch. Jose Aldo, starched in one punch, sent into the old folks' home. He's still good, don't get me wrong, but he's nowhere near where he used to be. Nowhere near where he used to be. There's no power, there's no way you can build up the strength and the conditioning and the mental capacity to feel a punch from Conor McGregor. And the fact of how big and strong and just looking peak physical condition. Shout to the McGregor Fast Conditioning Program. I don't know what is in that, but dear God, everybody should sign up for that. Oh my God, dude's a beast. Dude's looking absolutely insane at a level I've never even seen him at. He looked big for the Cowboy fight. That's at 170. He looks big. He looks just as big right now at 155. Conor's a different breed of fighter, and he's got the buzz cut. Oh my God, Conor with the buzz cut, man. I don't know. When Conor's got a buzz cut, it means there's no distractions. It means there's no distractions. No, on the day of the weigh-ins, the day before with the Mayweather fight, he had regular sized hair. He cut it because he wanted to be focused. Conor is so focused right now. He's so focused on making a name out of himself again. No, he already is a name. He's already the greatest. Or excuse me, he's not the greatest fighter of all time. He's not. And I'm the biggest Conor McGregor fan in the world. He's not the greatest fighter of all time. He's the most important and most important and most elusive fighter we've ever seen. There's nobody like Conor McGregor. There never will be. Never, ever. Prediction time. I got to go with Mystic Mac. First round. Inside 60 seconds. I'm not a betting person, but if I was, I probably wouldn't take 60 seconds. I'd take like 2 minutes. I say gets him out there, just the same amount of nick of time as he did the first time. And it's the fact that first fight is being so built on, it's being shown so much that it's probably just making Conor foam at the mouth, making him more excited to go out there and beat Dustin. Every time Dustin sees that, he's like, oh my God, what if it happens again? That's the thing about rematches. Happens. Things like that happen. I can't think of any rematches more recently. I know a lot of people think Max won the first fight or the second fight, but Max lost the rematch. It's rematches like that, man. Especially when it's just you in your element, just watching yourself get knocked out over and over again. I remember Darren Till, when Darren Till was I remember Darren Till talking about it when he was on the same card as Masvidal. He's like, it hurt me, watching people hype this fight up, just watching me get knocked out again and again and again. Darren Till went on to win that fight. But, it just shows, that can mess with somebody. And it's such an interesting fight, man. It's such an interesting combat fight, and it's so beautiful, and I can't get over it. I can't believe we're going to be able to witness this. Insane. Absolutely insane. Watch the weigh-ins. Watch the pre-fight press conference. Watch the embeddeds. Watch the countdown. Watch it all. Get ready for this fight. Besides the Conor fight, I think that a potential fight of the year is on our hands. We have the debut of Michael Chandler and Dan Hooker. Or excuse me, it's not the debut of Dan Hooker, but we have the debut of Michael Chandler against Dan Hooker. Now, this is another one of those fights where it can be imperative to the lightweight. It is going to be imperative to the lightweight division. This tells all about Michael Chandler and whether he's legit or he's not. And I don't think that the narrative of if Michael Chandler loses this fight, he's not UFC ready. No, he's just another Bellator scrub. That does not make any sense. Dan Hooker literally almost beat Dustin Poirier. If there was 10 seconds left in round 2, I hate to say it, if there's 10 seconds left in round 2, Dan Hooker would be fighting Conor McGregor tomorrow night. It's as simple as that. This does not tell all about whether or not Chandler is UFC ready or not. Dan Hooker is a legit dude. He's a top 5 lightweight. He's top 5 in the hardest division in the UFC. That tells all. He lost 48-47, I think it was across the board, to Dustin Poirier, the number 2 contender. In my opinion, The third best lightweight in the world. Sorry, it goes Khabib Conor. Sorry, Dustin, love you. Anyway, and he almost had him out. Dustin, in my opinion, even during that fight, I'm watching that fight. I'm like, Dustin was just saved by the bell. Oh my god! Like, I'm watching that fight as a fan. I'm like, oh my god. I'm freaking out. Michael Chandler. It's so weird because Michael Chandler's such a good wrestler. Dan Hooker's also good on the ground. No, he's nowhere near as good as he is striking. But Dan Hooker is so long and elusive and uses his knees, his elbows, his fists, his kicks. He uses every part of the body in order to win a fight. And Dan Hooker is such a long dude. And Michael Chandler is like Michael Chandler's a bit smaller, and that's why I think I'm not exactly sure on the odds. Hang on, I'll pull up the odds. Michael Chandler, Hooker, odds. Okay, you do have Dan Hooker as a favorite. All right. Yeah, you have Dan Hooker as a favorite, but it's a close favorite. It's not like it's bad. If you're a gambling man, I say Dan Hooker minus 120 is a good bet. Because you've got Dan Hooker is so much longer and has so many more ways, in my opinion, to beat Michael Chandler. I think that this fight ends one of two ways. Either Dan Hooker knocks him out or Michael Chandler wins a decision. I do not think Michael Chandler can get into the pocket and be able to swing and go at it with Dan Hooker. It's as simple as that. I think he's just too small. And I think Dan Hooker's too big for him. I think that in the most likely fashion, I think that what happens is Michael Chandler strikes with him for round one, loses in his mind and a lot of people's minds, and then he takes him down and wins the next two. I think that's what happens. If we're being honest, I think that is what is going to happen. I think that Chandler's going to realize, oh shoot, I can't strike with this guy. This dude's a lot better than Benson Henderson. I've got to go to the ground. He's going to take him down, and that's where he's going to do most of the work. He's going to ride him out, get some good ground and pound, and Michael Chandler's going to win. But Dan Hooker, man, I think Dan Hooker can finish him. Chandler's been finished. He got finished by Pitbull. I'm not a genius on Chandler's career. Jeez. But very interesting. Very, very interesting fight. Besides that, card's decent. You've got Jessica Ai, Joanne Calderwood, whatever. What they do. I hope Jessica Ai loses. She's so arrogant. Another thing that's weird. A former guest of the show, Matt Frivola, he was supposed to fight undefeated prospect Adamina Zaidar, and it turns out that Zaidar took off his wristbands, his entire team, and snuck past security and go to meet a friend of theirs or something like that, so he could get a bag of some sort. Now, what that bag was for, no idea. But now Zaidar, a young up-and-coming prospect, has just been cut by the UFC. I'm not sure what the status on Frivola's fight is, but I hope the best for Matt. He took a 16-hour flight, and if that gets canceled, man, that it's gotta hurt. I'm not sure the length of that, but just touch on a few things. This past Wednesday, Michael Chiesa beat Neil Magny. I feel like that's what we expected. It was either going to be a striking match or Michael Chiesa was going to go out there, take him down, and ride him out. That's exactly what happened. Chiesa is on a 4-fight win streak at welterweight. He called out Covington. I'm sorry, Chiesa. I love you. You're a great fighter. Got some sick tats. Jeez. Anyway, but I just don't think that's a fight to make. I think that Colby Covington's next fight is either for the belt or Jorge Masvidal. It's as simple as that. I think next for Chiesa, I'd love to see him versus Stephen Thompson. I feel like it's a fight that makes sense for both of them, kind of. And I feel like that's a fight that can determine, who's up there to stay with a Gilbert, Marty, Kobe, and Masvidal. I think that's the determining fight. Besides that, Max Holloway, Kelvin Kattar, Kelvin Kattar is exactly how I expect Conor McGregor to play out. You have Conor McGregor, arguably one of the greatest boxers of all time, greatest striker in the UFC, one of the greatest strikers we've ever seen in the UFC, going up against Dustin Poirier. Now, don't get me wrong, Dustin Poirier is a phenomenal fighter, one of the best fighters in the world, but I just think there's levels to this game. Max Holloway went out there, and he absolutely obliterated Calvin Kattar in a 50-42 scorecard. Broke tons of records, man. Max Holloway is the best 145er on the planet. If you think otherwise, I mean, you're an idiot and you don't know fighting, but, hats off to you, I guess. Besides that, man, ladies and gentlemen, ESPN Plus pay-per-view, Saturday, January 23rd, 2021. Buy the pay-per-view. Get ready to see an absolute clinic put on by the Notorious one, Conor McGregor. Everybody get pumped. There's nothing that alludes to the feeling of a main event pay-per-view feel with fans, and it's Conor McGregor fighting Dustin Poirier. How much better can you get? Ladies and gentlemen, tune into the fight. Don't stream it because Dana might kill you. Tune into the fight. Buy the fight. Get ready to see an absolute clinic put on. The Notorious one's back. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you guys next weekend. Or next week. I don't even know when I do this show anymore. Gosh, dang it. Buy the fight. Get ready to see a clinic put on. The Notorious one, first round knockout. Conor McGregor. There's only one Conor McGregor. There's no fighter better. Everybody have a great night. Enjoy the fights tomorrow. See you guys soon.